Okay, let's just get right into it. If you've ever been shot out of a deep sleep at 3 in the morning by that sharp electric pain zinging down your leg, you know exactly how frustrating it is. I mean, you weren't doing anything crazy, you were just sleeping. So today, we're going to treat this as what it is, a simple setup problem, not some personal failing. And I'm going to show you how you can fix it, literally, tonight.
And that's the part that just feels so unfair, right? This quote hits it on the head. You go to bed, you're exhausted, you finally get comfortable. And then your own body basically decides to sabotage you. But here's the good news. If the problem is happening while you're sleeping, the solution is almost certainly in how you're sleeping. And that's something we can absolutely change.
Now, before we go any further, let's be super clear about who this is for. If you're a side sleeper and that description of shooting pain, especially when you roll over, sounds painfully familiar, then you are in exactly the right place. But, and this is incredibly important, if you have any of the symptoms on the right side of this screen, things like brand new weakness, your foot dropping, numbness in that groin or saddle area, or any changes with your bowel or bladder, please stop this explainer and get urgent medical advice. This is for setup issues, not for bypassing a doctor.
All right, for everyone who's still with me, let's talk about that 3 a.m. electric nope. You know the one. We're about to figure out why it's happening and show you how a couple of pillows placed just right can completely fix the geometry of your sleep and just make it stop.
This is the absolute key to everything. You can't just grit your teeth and tell yourself to lie still and hope the pain goes away. Believe me, I've tried it. Bargaining with your mattress at 3 in the morning just doesn't work. Your nervous system, it doesn't care about your willpower. It only responds to one thing: good alignment. It rewards good geometry.
So, what is it that's messing up your geometry? Well, in this next part, we're going to play detective and uncover the sneaky little culprit behind all this pain. It's a subtle twist that's happening while you are completely and totally out of it.
The chain reaction is actually pretty simple when you break it down. It all starts so innocently. As you're sleeping, your top leg just drifts forward. But since it's connected to your pelvis, it pulls your pelvis into a slight rotation. And your low back? Well, it absolutely hates being twisted, so it sends up the alarm signal. That's your electric nope.
This is the mechanical problem right here: pelvic rotation. And that towel metaphor? It's perfect. Imagine you're just slowly, quietly wringing out a towel. You're not doing some big, dramatic yoga twist. It's this slow, gentle wringing of your low back. And you don't even feel it building up. You only feel the nerve screaming once it's had enough.
So it turns out there are actually two culprits working together here, a real 1-2 punch. I call them the midnight thieves. You've got the pelvic rotation we just talked about, but then you also have the waist gap. See, most mattresses leave a little space under your waist, and that lets your spine kind of sag into a side bend. So you've got a twist and a side bend? That's the perfect storm for an angry nerve.
Okay. Enough about the problem. Let's get to the good stuff, the fix. We are now going to build your 3-pillow solution. And yes, this is a simple, crazy effective support system you can put together the minute this explainer is done.
That's it. That's the magic number, 3. We are not building some impenetrable pillow fortress here. All we need is 3 pillows placed strategically to correct that bad geometry and finally let your nervous system calm down.
So here's the blueprint. First, the hip leveler. This is a pillow that runs from your knee all the way down to your ankle. This is crucial. It stops that top leg from twisting your pelvis. Second, the gap filler. A small rolled-up towel is perfect for this. You just slide it under your waist to stop that side bend. And finally, the guardrail. This is a hug pillow right in front of you. It literally stops you from rolling forward and starting that whole painful cycle all over again.
But how thick should that leg pillow be? Great question. No need to guess. You can just use your hand. Lie on your side, get your hips stacked, and just see how many fingers fit in the gap between your knees. That gives you a great starting point for how thick your pillow should be. This little chart here is your cheat sheet. If you wake up feeling pinched, try something thinner. If you wake up and you still feel twisted, you might need something a little thicker or even longer. Okay, so which side should you actually sleep on? Well, let's let your body vote. Forget about what you think is your favorite side for a minute and just run this quick 60-second test. Build a full pillow stack and lie on side A for 1 minute. Really pay attention. Then flip over and do the same thing on side B. Which side just feels calmer, less tense? Where does it feel easier to just breathe? That's your answer. And this is the real goal. We're not just looking for the side with a little less pain. We're looking for the side that lets your nervous system finally come off high alert. The side that feels quiet,
where your body can stop tensing up and actually, finally, relax into sleep. But this brings us to probably the biggest frustration of all. You build the perfect pillow setup, it feels incredible at 11 p.m., and then you wake up in agony at 2:47 a.m. anyway. Let's figure out why that happens, and more importantly, how to make your setup completely rollover-proof.
So, why the betrayal, right? Why does a system that feels so good when you go to bed just completely fall apart a few hours later? It's not because you did anything wrong. It's because you moved.
The culprit is what I call the rollover moment. See, when you're half asleep, you don't roll over like a perfect straight log. No way. Your top leg leads the charge, it moves first, your pelvis follows, and bam! You've just recreated the exact twist you were trying so hard to prevent, all without even fully waking up. So the solution is not to stop moving. That's impossible. The solution is to build a lane that keeps you aligned even when you move. That knee-to-ankle spacer is your first guardrail. The hug pillow in front is your second. And hey, if you tend to roll onto your back, just add a thin pillow behind you to complete the lane. This whole setup makes good alignment basically automatic.
Now, as you build your lane, just make sure you avoid these really common mistakes. Using a pillow only between the knees lets your lower leg twist. Curling up super tight might feel cozy for a second, but it usually makes that pelvic twist worse. Piling up too many pillows can create a whole new problem. And of course, ignoring that gap under your waist leaves your spine totally unsupported.
And this right here is the principle that ties it all together. The goal is not to sleep like a statue. It's not zero movement. Your body needs to move. The lane you build is just there to make sure that when you do move, you do it without creating that painful twist. It's about safe movement.
All right, here we go. This is your action plan for tonight. 4 simple steps. 1. Build your 3-piece lane. 2. Use that 60-second test to pick your calmer side. 3, and this is so important, take a quick note of your setup and how you felt in the morning. And 4, if you need to make a change tomorrow, only adjust one single thing at a time.
I want you to approach this like a simple experiment. You're a scientist, and you're just debugging your own sleep system. You test the setup, you note the results, and then you change only one variable. This methodical way of doing it is how you'll find the perfect custom setup that works for you, and you get to skip all the guesswork and frustration.
So let's bring it all home with this one last thought. Just forget about trying to hold some perfect, rigid pose all night long. It's impossible. The real lasting fix is building a supportive lane that lets your body move naturally while protecting it from the twist that's been waking you up. You have the problem, you have the principles, and now you have the plan. So the only question left is, are you ready to stop fighting with your body in the middle of the night and start building a system that actually supports it? You can literally start doing this tonight.